Hi, my name is Sethembile Msezane. I am a visual artist and I am from Johannesburg originally, born in KZN, and I'm now living and practicing in Cape Town. For the past 2 years I've been studying at UCT, doing my master's, in which I was exploring a body of work called Sugela, reimagined bodies of a South African 90s born woman. The work more or less stemmed from my previous series, the Public Holiday series, in which I was looking at the absence of the Black female body in memorialized public spaces, and I just kind of realized that there weren't enough signifiers or figures that were attributed to Black women as much as they were of white, male, colonial Afrikaner bodies. And so it came from a place more or less of not being able to identify with my surroundings. I was living in Cape Town for about 5 years then, in 2013, and I still felt like as if I didn't belong. There was a sort of dislocation that I could not understand. I realized that this presence of rejection came from, more or less, from the markers in the landscape that did not in any way represent who I am as a Black South African. And these markers that I'm speaking about are the statues that are littered all over South Africa, but particularly in Cape Town. With this new body of work, I kind of moved within that trajectory, looking at Black women in history and mythology who have been marginalized as well as vilified within those contexts, and somehow have been identified as significant or iconic women in the present day. When I do perform the women that I perform, even though we may have different backgrounds, be from different countries, different eras, ultimately, because I spend a lot of time not only researching but trying to connect with them through various ways, one of which being in front of the mirror, having silent conversations. As you can see in my body of work, there's a lot of reference to reflection through mirrors and all of that. So when I realized that I was performing or embodying these women that I collaborated with, that it was somehow an incomplete endeavor, because I was looking outside of my own history, looking at other women who had done these significant things. So I decided that let me look within my own archive, look at my own lineage of powerful women in my family. This brought my work into, I suppose, the juncture between the public domain and the private domain, in which the public domain were these figures or these women that I would perform in public spaces in relation to monuments, statues, as well as architecture. Now coming into the private domain, where it's more about commemorative practice within the home in the forms of photo albums, looking for these histories that I consider to be significant. So I looked at furniture as monuments that you can find in the private domain. I decided that I was going to reclaim the space, the domestic environment, as well as South Africa's public spaces, and include histories of my family within these furniture pieces or monuments, as I call them. I've always been interested in hair, but I think that interest kind of just laid low and it has risen in this body of work. But also during my Public Holiday series, when I started incorporating hair into the various wearable sculptures that I performed in public spaces. And so treating that as now a material that I have put within the private domain, I've looked at how this material is a material that has been considered feminine, but in the past, especially in my culture as a Zulu woman, it wasn't necessarily a gendered material or gendered thing. hair was something that both men and women adorned their bodies with, as object, as a hat, or as even on their own head. And so I was looking at that, and I was looking as well at how hair has been considered quite a racialized thing. And so looking at Europe versus Africa, looking at what is considered good versus what is considered evil, and incorporating all of that into these sculptures. Where I'm going after this, I think that there are a lot of opportunities that are coming my way, and you guys are gonna see in the next year, or not the next year, in the next few months actually. I suppose I just want to keep it a secret, and I would just like for you guys to see it till it all comes into fruition. Thank you.